nurses in UK are very easily saving up to £20,000 in a year. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to tell you exactly how they do that. Assuming that this is a care home nurse earning £25 per hour, on average, this nurse will make up to £3,200 in a month. And this is not including any extra shifts that this nurse does. I'm standing right here in the middle of Crawley. Crawley is a town in the southeast of England, which in itself is not considered cheap. But these are the numbers. In Crawley, you can get a shared accommodation flat for £600. That again, if you are a single person. So this nurse spends £600 for accommodation, and then for things like groceries, things like transport, gym membership, or going out, let's put it on the higher side, and it comes to £1,000 a month. So if you add that, that becomes £1,600 of all the expenditure. From our salary of 3,200, if we minus that, you'll find out that this nurse is able to save £1,600. And again, if this nurse does one or two extra shifts, they might end up saving up to £2,000. So, to answer the question of what you should do with this £20,000 that you've saved in the last year that is sitting in your current account in your bank, I have brought a regular on Shakes TV. This is Greg. He is a DJ. He's a property investor. Welcome to Shakes TV.
Asante sana, man.
Yeah.
It's been a
So,
while.
yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
So,
but
I've got £20,000 in my account. I have really worked so hard in the last year as a nurse. What or where should I invest this money? Because I want to have a financial freedom. I want to increase my income, not just from my day job as a nurse, in let's say 5 years.
that's a tricky one because there's a lot of elements coming at play. In property, there's ways you can actually invest that.
Mm.
But I say, especially if you're an immigrant coming from outside, you can buy a house. So if you're looking to have a family, buy a house in a good place. It's not an investment, but it gives you peace. It gives you opens the doors. Number one. Number two, I think investing in a course,
Mm.
a vocational course, not just a course, but something that will able in a skill. Let's say that
Mm-hmm.
can be a second option. Third option, um, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you. There's two safe investments, in
Yeah.
my opinion. There's education, meaning a skill. Get a skill. Don't just stay as a nurse. Get a skill, and then at some point, like what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
you'll be free to be able to exercise your skill because you
Mm.
didn't start YouTube today,
Mm.
isn't
Mm.
it?
Mm.
And then the second thing is get into real estate.
Can you just first speak about real estate, because
Yes,
that's
let's go.
something that you're very passionate about, is something that you are doing.
Yes.
£20,000.
Yeah.
Where am I starting in real estate with this money?
There's a few strategies. So now, in real estate, as it is, there's investing in real estate, which you just buy, hold, wait,
Mm.
right? And then you get money as a result of appreciation of property.
Mm.
That's one strategy. That's not necessarily business, but it is a strategy. It's investing. It's good. You can buy a house, but then it's not really sustainable because then you have to think about the cash flow side of things. So when you put £20,000, you're waiting for it to double in 10 years. You might need the money right now. So
I'm
it's
gonna
hard to
give you
recreate.
5 years,
Okay.
because this nurse doesn't have any problem with cash flow,
Mhm.
because from how I explained in the beginning, this is a guy who, or a lady for
lady,
that matter, is netting 3,500 or so
A
a
month.
month. So no problem with cash flow. I just want my £20,000 to be substantial in 5 years.
Well, we have a few different strategies in real estate. You have service accommodation, which is another job. I wouldn't say get into it. It's another job, but it's a place to start.
Mhm.
But if you're getting 20,000 every single month, I say hold it for about 3 years. get into a property that is good enough, maybe run down, that needs to be done, and then get into it, live into it, or employ professionals like us to make sure that you get an uplift of that property. And then what ends up happening, you get your money back as a result of refinancing. So you get a rundown property flipping, essentially.
Yeah.
But then because you have the cash flow, you have the money, you might not have the time, you get with professionals like us, and you flip your properties
Okay.
as good places to start. You can do it in the southeast, which is getting trickier by the day because of the prices are going up. But you can do it somewhere in the Midlands. I know you've been looking into this as well.
20,000 pounds.
Yeah.
How am I going to buy a round down property? Because I've seen them online. They go for like 70,000 up to 100,000.
As long as it's mortgageable, you can mortgage it.
Or you can buy a rundown property with
That
a
is
mortgage.
mortgage. Yes. So there's parameters within which you can mortgage a house.
Mhm.
It needs to have a sink, something like that. It's needed, quote unquote, livable. If it's mortgageable, yeah, you buy with 10%.
What you're trying to explain in basic English is I need to buy a rundown house, repair it, wait
Yeah.
for some time, sell it.
Yes.
Where am I going to get the money to do the repairs and fixing everything?
Well, number one, you have cash flow. In this case, you have 20 grand. I'm assuming it's not only 20 grand. It's more than 20.
We are starting with 20 grand.
Yes, so buy a house
Yeah.
that is run down, possibly live in it, yeah, and build it like that. Now, remember, real estate is a very slow, ugly process. It's not necessarily one of those things where money market where you buy something, look at numbers, and it go up. I can't advise you about that. But real estate is brick and mortar. It is dirty. So if you want to get into it, and you have a low position to get into it,
Yeah.
you buy a house and you live in it while doing it up. The value of the house goes up. You don't pay rent. Then you're saving money on that.
Yeah.
And you're making money at the end of it because you will be able to sell it.
So basically, what you're saying, what I've picked up is that you can buy a rundown property and live in it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes, you can. You might need to probably have put it up to a
Maybe
standard
not
within which-
a proper rundown house. Because what comes to my mind when you say a rundown house, it's a house that is not livable.
Well, that's too much. You can get those ones, but then you look at the uplift, it might be you work too much to be able to get it there. Say a house that has dated kitchen, the windows are not necessarily up to standard, the EPC is not happy about it, something like that. What you do then is buy the house. It is not modern, meaning if I look at this house in the market, the kitchen is 50 years old. No one ever did something about it. The maybe has a garden. The garden is not done well. You can live in the house. The garden is not good. So if you clean up the garden, if you clean up the probably the perimeter walls and all of that, it uplifts the house.
Yeah.
If you change the kitchen, it's about 3 grand. So I'll give you an example. I change the kitchen, which is 3 grand or 2 grand, and then it gives me 5 grand worth of.
Do you know how much rundown properties would range for example, maybe in Crawley? Because we've been around, we've seen the houses in Crawley for like a 2-bedroom house, which is not rundown per se. In Crawley will go for like 350,000.
Yeah, that's 35 grand putting down. Now 10%. I wouldn't say do it in Crawley. And if you want to do it in Crawley, this is the thing that I say: real estate, and if you especially want to get into business, learn how to work with other people. Because then you will have to work with other people. So you can find someone to partner with, create what's called an SPV, which is like a company within which holds that property, and the role of that company is to make sure that that property is sold. So you buy with the company, you uplift it, and but then that's going to be different rates.
Yeah,
which is still good. My point is this: that 20 grand by itself in real estate needs strategy. You just don't go into it. And I think that's true with many other businesses. But in real estate, it's not really that much. So you then need to either spend some more time looking far and wide, be willing to travel, or be willing to work with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other option in property you said was serviced accommodation.
Yes.
Which is something you're doing.
Yes, I'm doing service accommodation.
£20,000.
That's about 2. So if you're doing service accommodation and you want to do it, and the goal in this case is to replace your income,
Mhm.
20 grand can give you.
Or supplement.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying replace your income or
Mm.
supplement is because if you're not trying to replace your income, you'd have to still go to work, isn't it?
Mhm.
But really, service accommodation, and I'm saying this as someone who has had to employ people, you can't really do it by yourself. Especially if you're doing a 9 to 5, you have kids like I do, you have businesses and everything. But if you get into service accommodation, let me now give you the good side of it, is you can get your money back very fast. Can take 6 months if you get in well. With 20 grand, you have 2, 3 properties under rent to rent,
Yeah.
and you get about two grand a month maybe from all of them
Wow.
minimum.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you got in
I-
your 20 grand back, but then it also means that you have to be very good. So now the skill at play here
Yeah.
is managing. So you have to be able to manage people, manage your properties.
Let's not start with the whole 20,000, because you say that with 20,000 you can get like 2 or 3 serviced accommodation.
Yeah,
Let's start with just one.
one service accommodation.
Just one, because if you're new getting into this whole property thing, managing 3 is going to be extremely difficult. Managing 1 is going to be very difficult. Managing 3 is going to be
I thought the same.
extremely.
I'd say yes and no.
Mm.
You know how they say when you have one kid, it's harder than having two.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it's like I'll give you an example. When you carry one bucket,
Yeah,
sometimes it feels heavier than carrying two.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So when you look at the economies of scale, say you're getting a service for say what's called a channel manager.
Mm.
You pay for a channel manager, which is 0 to 10 properties. You're paying the same price for one property.
Yeah.
It's not good. If you get a virtual assistant, you pay them the same price to look at one property as opposed to looking at 5 properties.
Let's use an example of myself.
Yeah.
I'm still doing my full-time job.
Yes.
I do shifts. Sometimes I'm on night shifts, sometimes I'm on day shifts, weekends. I work across the clock. And I want to start a serviced accommodation, which for people who don't know what that means, is basically listing renting to serviced accommodation. You rent a property and put it in B&B, Airbnb, or
Booking.com,
Booking.com,
all around,
whatever.
yeah.
How am I going to manage this? For example, clients are saying maybe something has broken down, the Wi-Fi is gone down, or whatever, and I'm at work. As a nurse, I'm not allowed to take phone calls at work. I'm not supposed to even be on my phone. How am I going to respond to that? Because we know that the way I mean, if you're the host, if you are responding fast to the clients, then Airbnb is going to rank you higher.
Yeah, there's that metric. It's not really that strong.
Mm.
The way you think about it is you've stayed in your place, right? How many times have you had to call the landlord in a month?
Maybe 0.
Exactly. So yes, they happen, but not necessarily that much, especially if you've created systems around it. Now, in the occasion that it
Speak
happens,
about the systems.
yeah, there's systems. So I have successfully, somewhat successfully, been able to create a system around myself to be able to handle everything about in my life. So I have a VA right now, virtual assistant. She's Kenyan. She's doing a good job. We meet every single day, and we just go through the properties and what needs to be done, and she handles everything. I don't handle that. So for me, as it is today, I've created a business that is handling
Come on.
itself.
She's not going to fix a tap that's leaking.
Yeah, but I wouldn't fix it up anyway.
Okay, so your virtual assistant will get the handyman.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay, okay.
The same thing. I mean, whatever I could have done, she does.
Mm.
So we have a bunch of people around us. We have like you said, a system. You have people who we speak to. We have to work with in order to give a good service to the customers, essentially. So one of the people is a maintenance guy. So we have a maintenance guy at hand. We give him a retainer, and he looks after our properties.
Can you real quick break down to us just how much money you need to start 1 unit of service accommodation?
It can be as low as 2K.
Can you give us the metrics?
So remember, the cost here is in renovation, right? The cost is only renovation, putting things in the property.
Yeah.
Because then you're paying rent, which you pay 1 month in advance, and then you're paying deposit. So that's not a startup cost; it's a running cost, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you look at it, the only money that comes out of your pocket is to make sure that the property is up and running, is has a bed, has all of that.
Yes.
So that will cost you around 2 to 3 grand. Now there is running costs involved. You don't need only 2 grand.
Yeah.
But you need say you need rent for the first month and all of that. But then you're paying. When you pay rent, you're paying in advance. You're not paying for something used.
Yes.
So if you go again into a property, I don't know other people, but in this country, and I think most other countries, when you get into the property, you're paying for the month you haven't lived.
Yeah.
So then that means that if you get into the property and you list it well, you can only use 2 grand. Because the money you spent on the rent.
I want you to be a bit more realistic, because we know with £2,000, you're not going to start a service accommodation with that.
The startup cost, in my opinion. So I'm trying to differentiate the mathematics of it. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, and it can go as high as 10k.
Yes.
I know people will spend 10k. So let's go with the minimum, the least amount, and if you're smart, because in business you have to be smart.
Okay.
You make money in real estate, and I don't know about many other businesses, when you buy, not when you run. So in the buying is when you make the money. So how you get into service accommodation is how you make the money, because if you don't get in well, if your entry point is high, you spend a lot of time trying to recoup back that money. Now let's go back to your question. You asked how much money do you need realistically? I could say the minimum is 2 grand, around 2 grand for 1 bed maybe. The average is around 6-7 grand.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I feel like you haven't really added the cost of furniture.
Furniture will cost you around
channel manager.
Yeah, but those are running costs.
Virtual assistant.
So I can tell you, I can give you a number for all of that.
Yeah.
So a channel manager for virtual assistant, there's a running cost, might cost you around £200 maybe. Mine is a virtual assistant. So the virtual assistant will be a bit more, but you don't need a virtual assistant in the beginning. Get 3 properties, maybe the virtual assistants pay for themselves, because the only thing you need to do is you need to add 1 more property. So think about it this way, I have 3 properties or 1 property. That's how I'm running my stuff. Maybe 1 property is giving me 500 to £1,000, right? And my maximum is 2 properties. If I add 1 more property, I have increased 500 to my cash flow. But then I pay my VA 300.
Yeah.
That means I've increased 200 to my cash flow.
Yeah.
So then I can add 2 more as a result of that.
The question that they are really waiting to hear is, how much money then can you make out of this 1 unit?
Depends on the size. 2 to 3 bedrooms, realistically, in a good place, you can make. Now, what you can make on what's averagely made, you can make upwards of. I remember on my 1 bed, I made during summer. I made around 3 grand profit. Now that's some.
In a month.
Yes.
Wow.
But averagely, realistically, you make around 1,000.
Yeah, that's very good money. Yeah.
Around £1,000, give or take, depending on the size, depending on the swings of the year, because it's not flat.
So basically, what you're trying to say is that it's not as complicated as people might think.
No, I don't think it's that complicated. I'll be honest. I'm trying to be very specific, but to be honest with you, most things are complicated if you try and be specific.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it from a standpoint of I put in 7 grand or 6 grand, and I try and make 6 grand in 6 months in profit, that means after 6 months, all the money I'm getting is profit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So then I don't care. Why? Because if it goes bad, I could just at the end of the month give the property back to the landlord and say I can't do this, because you're not living there anyway. Yes. And most of the time, you don't go and buy new furniture. I think you asked about furniture.
Yeah,
you don't buy new.
yeah, you only buy those kind of things once. You don't buy a TV twice. You only buy that
Yeah, but
once.
that's one. And number
Mm.
two, why would you buy new furniture? Why do you need a new chair? Go and look for them in charity shops and all of that.
Facebook Market.
Facebook Marketplace would
Mm.
give you. I remember I bought a bed for around my. I bought two beds. I think I said this before. I
Mm.
bought two beds for around £100 each,
Yeah.
and they used to break. They're really bad. For some reason, people use Airbnbs not to sleep but to jump on beds. I don't know why they
I
do
know,
that.
right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting another bed on Facebook Marketplace for around £50.
Uh,
No, actually £40.
was that like a better bed?
It's been strong ever since.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Yeah, it's the same. I got a fridge.
Mm.
My fridge broke down, and I bought one for £10.
Amazing. You said that this person can also learn a skill. You are a DJ.
Yes.
Now,
I'll say DJing is not necessarily a skill you go
Mhm.
and learn from somewhere. It's
Yeah.
something probably you're passionate about, and you
Mm,
do
mm.
over time, and you don't pay someone to. I don't believe in paying people to learn DJ.
Yeah.
What I mean by skills in the UK, there is, and you know this, there's certain skills that are really, really, really important.
Mhm.
You know, the NVQs and all of that.
Yeah.
I have done that in IT. You go and pay for a certification that then opens doors for if you're earning 3 grand for 5 grand a month,
Mm.
maybe. So remember, the goal is two options. You can actually go into business. If you've never been into business, if you're not good in business, I don't think it's advisable to go into business.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you know you're good at a skill, you've done
Mm.
this well, maybe nothing, and you want to get more money, and this is what you do is you save your time. You spend you earn more during the same time. Then
Yeah.
you've increased your profit. You're getting more for who you are, for your
Yeah.
time, isn't it?
Speaking
So
about learning a skill, there is something that I've seen all over social media,
mhm,
and one of the biggest businesses that a lot of people are running in the UK is teaching.
yeah.
You know so much about property, probably DJing.
Mhm.
There was a time when I used to live back in Chester. I wanted to be a DJ, and I went online and I googled DJ schools. Do you know how much money they were charging? They were charging 1,000 for 2 days,
No, teaching is a thing,
and it
right?
was online.
Teaching is it's a thing, but then you need if you really want to be ethical about it, then you really need to be really good at teaching and having and the skill you to do teaching instead.
Mm.
So we're not telling people to get how to get fast money. If you ask me that, I won't be able to give you an answer. But we're telling people how to be sustainable and be smart with their money.
Yes.
If you ask, I think teaching is not necessarily good right now
Mm.
because knowledge is very cheap as a result of ChatGPT.
It's free,
Yeah.
in all honesty. But again, when it comes to property, and a lot of people are going to comment, here in UK, one of the best ways that you can actually make money out of property is to teach people about
I see what
property.
you're alluding into.
Why
see what you-
haven't you started teaching people?
No, I don't think it's a vocation I want to go into.
Mm.
Because why would I give you my number to start calling me if I don't want if I'm giving people the thing about teaching and that's I can't really delegate teaching,
Mm.
so it's not really a business, isn't it? It's me getting another job. Why would I
Yeah.
do that? So no,
Yeah.
it's just not good money.
Wow, that's wonderful. So, guys, it's not very complicated to make to increase that 20,000 into possibly tens of thousands of pounds within not a very long time. It's not impossible to change that into hundreds of thousands. Maybe even you can be a millionaire from that. If you want to know more about property investing, make sure that you're dropping a comment. If you are in the UK, you are a nurse, and you want to know how you can increase your income as well, just ask on the comment section and I will make sure that I reply. This has been Greg. Do you want to tell them how they can find you on social media?
Uh, my name is Greg. Anyone who knows me would probably have seen me on my YouTube channel, Procut World, and this channel, which is now getting big. By the way, congratulations and what you're doing right now. Get me on YouTube, Procut World, Property DJ on TikTok, and I think Property DJ on Instagram as well. It's just the same thing.
That has been Shakes TV. Until next time.